Right.
Did you have a good Christmas?
Did I have a good Christmas?
Yeah.
I'm in the same clothes as I was in the last one.
I know, I was trying to could have sat that way.
He's trying to, yeah, we could have swapped it around, but anyone who would have had the thing about them would be like, hang on, they're in exactly the same clothes. They've recorded just after Christmas.
Yeah, but it could be. It could be a few days, you know.
Some
you could
people
have
do
work
record that.
clothes.
Yeah,
Do you
could have. Yeah, we are recording this in the same week, ready to kind of talk about. So the last episode, we talked about 2022 in brief, I guess, in summary. But 2023 we want to talk about now. What does that hold for us as a company? I'm not going to speculate on what it holds for the world because, I could do, but it purely will be speculation.
It's you look
more of the same, I think, actually,
Yeah.
from 2022.
It's a bit like, I know you won't like talking about it again. It's a bit like the World Cup final some days ago. Becoming a running theme, isn't it? Do you know what?
Was there a World Cup one, was it?
It's speculating about 2023 is a bit like the final. You had no idea which way it was going to go. For 70 minutes, it was guaranteed.
Was it a draw? Was it 7 minutes? Or
it was 3-3.
Was it?
Went to penalties. Greatest
Wow.
game probably ever, apart from Champions League final in 2005 in Istanbul.
I should just watch the penalties.
The penalties, as much as penalties are usually very good, don't think they were as good
So
as the rest of it.
There were any clangers where someone smashed it over the bar they were playing rugby, was it?
No. We've done that. But 2023 is a bit like that. For 70 minutes of the 90, you knew exactly who was going to win it. Something happens like that. And it was that sudden. Argentina were in total control and dominance. One guy put his foot out. The guy got a penalty, scored it, 2-1. 90 seconds later, he scores another goal, 2-2. In the space of 3 minutes, everything changed like that. And I think trying to speculate about 2023 is a bit like the football. You have no idea what's going to happen.
No.
And in the blink of an eye, anything that terrorist related, somebody comes out with something on the news, there's a new variant of some illness, somebody comes out with some new device. I know. Then it changes again. So you can't speculate. You have to look, like we always say, at the long-term effect of that.
Yeah,
you got to be looking at 2024, 25, 26 onwards.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you just got to plan for the future, future-proof your business, future-proof life, really, and kind of. But I think from us, from a personal point of view, there's lots we want to achieve next year, and we are going to take everyone on the journey. You're going to see a lot more of us on YouTube, podcast, social media, and I think we'll take people a little bit more behind the scenes on what we're doing and what we're looking to achieve.
The book is done.
The book is done.
It's actually with the publishers
first
the other day.
Yeah, our first book. Do you want to release the title?
No,
Really?
they can wait another few days.
Okay. So
If anyone needs any help in setting up what's the Amazon thing? The Kindle Publishing.
I don't know.
Give us a shout. Wow.
Yeah, but no. So that'll be out in 2023, within Q1, the first quarter of 2023. We'll be launching that, and we're already starting in the background writing the second book. So we're not going to stop at one or two. We'll continue going. Be good to release one a year. It'd be quite nice, I think, for a few years.
How many did J.K. Rowling do the first go? She
Probably loads, I would have thought. I don't kind of know, but I think with someone I follow, Rob Moore, I think he's done 18 now. I think one of his best selling ones, one of his first ones, Money.
There's no stories about hobbits in our book or anything like that.
No, because I never would have watched any of that anyway, that sort of stuff. But there's gonna be a big focus on education.
Yeah.
Not just from our point of view, but educating you, the greater public, all around the world. We can educate you on money. What else have we got?
Courses.
Yeah,
I
courses.
suppose that probably feeds
Events.
into the education events.
Webinars.
Yeah.
Face-to-face events we're going to be running. Yeah.
More guests.
More guests
last year was
on the podcast, and we're going to be guests on more podcasts as well.
Last year, as much as COVID, or this year still, as much as COVID was gone to a degree, it was still difficult to try and get guests in.
Yeah.
And during COVID, when everyone was at home, it felt like you could jump on a Zoom and it was an excuse to do something. And we had more guests in the first series than we had in the last
probably
two.
the first 6 months,
because
we were
then all
right
of a
to the
sudden,
depths
once
of
things
COVID.
opened up again,
Yeah.
people were still a bit either unsure of coming in face to face, or the real life took over again.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't be arsed doing any more Zooms. So it kind of it slowed down, not from the lack of asking, but the amount of times we had people that were due to come on, excuse me, for some unknown reason, life took over. We had to rearrange and reschedule.
We got a few already lined up. Some quite nice, quite exciting ones to come. We're going to
good one you told me about last week, which will be nice to let out.
Yeah. That'll be a good one. We recorded a great one last week.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. That'll be out
on
soon.
a therapy sofa.
On a therapy sofa. Yeah, that's not going to be on video though. That's only going to be on podcast because we didn't have the cameras running. From the financial planning side, the sanctuary financial planning side of the business, we're going to be improving our service for our clients even more than we already have. So a bit more there, a lot more automated things. We're going to try and get our tech bundle sorted, because if anyone knows financial services, there's some great tech which is non-financial services we use, but anything financial services is still shocking, and it's true. None of it works properly. None of it does what it does. We have to use external software to do everything we do. And the one which we have been using for quite a while had been sold to a bigger company who, the bigger company don't appear to be putting much money into it anymore or interest in it. So actually, as a piece of software, sadly, it's not as good as it was. And my fear is that it's not going to get any better. And actually, probably some of the bugs are not going to be sorted out, which is pretty sad, but because it's a great bit of tech, and we're going to now have to search elsewhere for something which does the job really for us. Financial
tech to me is almost like they were all married together. All the pieces of technology had this multi-marriage arrangement, and then they all got unhappy with each other. And they're going through a messy divorce. And none of them want to speak to each other.
Nope.
Even by bringing in third parties, APIs or solicitors, don't want to speak to each other. And then
just some financial services, isn't it? Everyone's scared of everyone. It's like there's enough people in the UK who need advisors. There's not enough advisors, but everyone's scared to talk to each other.
I think last year, when we looked at building an in-house one itself, and it didn't seem that expensive, we had sat down with one of the developers, and there was 24 different pieces of software we were using at that moment in time, which I think the vast majority did not feed into each other.
No,
so you have 24, I know you can have the same, different logins for 24 pieces of software for our business. Now, I know not all of them will be financial related, such as Calendly or whatever it may be, but having those 24... it's just ludicrous.
And you would have struggled to get them. You would have struggled to string more than 4 of them together to talk to each other.
And if they didn't feed through the information. So you were double entering on many occasions. It just, and this is one of the bugbears of how it takes so much time to use different pieces of software in 2022 in the world of finance, that you enter information into one piece of software, you have to log into another one and enter the same information, usually
and still need too many wet signatures in this industry as well.
So if anyone wants to give us 130 grand, we'll develop a new piece of software and we'll take the market by storm.
It'd be more than that.
Yeah, but
that's just to get you off the ground. But no, so 2023, we got a lot planned. You're going to see a lot more of us. That might be a good thing or a bad thing for some people. But hey, if you don't want to see us, just turn off. Simple as that. But we're on a quest for education around money, educating all levels, all young, old, anyone who needs to kind of learn about money. That's what we're on the quest for. On a financial planning side, just to get a slicker, better process for our clients, to get across the message about kind of planning for the future, setting new goals out, getting things kind of lined up.
In my simple mind, and it is very simple, I have a major concern that we've just had Christmas, and over the last few weeks, you have seen that nobody gives a damn about what they spend and on what. We've had a bad 2 years. I'm just going to enjoy it. And it doesn't really matter. We'll sort out the payment of spending next year. Next year is only a few days around the corner. And coming from, these people in London that run the country, they're spending like there's no tomorrow. And they do not care how much they spend, because when the time comes to balance the books, they're not going to be in power. So they're not really bothered. Yeah. Then you have all of these people going, I want a 20% pay rise. I'm going on strike. I want a 15% pay rise. Now, when that's on the TV all of the time, the normal Joe public, who's had, let's be honest, a shit 2 years of it, they're turning around and going, well, I just borrow, credit cards, loans, whatever it may be, even worst case scenarios than that, because someone is going to sort something out, because the government are not going to pay back their debt, so I'm not going to pay back my debt. And things are going wrong. We talked in a previous episode about Klarna and the impact that can have negatively on debt. And we do need, from next year onwards, people to take ownership of their financial affairs, to understand the concept of money and happiness, and develop a better relationship with their money and a better understanding. So that for the next, not just the next 12 months, but the next 12 years, they have good habits which don't lead them down the wrong line of creating financial hardship in the future. Because it is going to come at some stage. We're all going to have to start paying back whatever we borrowed. And guess what? The government are going to make us pay back whatever they borrowed by increasing taxes in some form. So we are going to be in for a long haul of a bit of a crap time. And we need to just sort our money situations out through simple education.
Yeah, I think so. And like I say, we come back to it's not the cost of living crisis, the cost of lifestyle crisis from a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, there are people who are really struggling and there's nothing they can do about that. But there's a lot of people out there who can, who earn good money but are still struggling, but that's because they're overspending. Yeah, so the big plan for 2023 for us is education. Because that's what it's all about. We can educate our clients and any of our listeners, watchers about money and proper money management. Then even if we just change one person's approach to money, our job's done. But we want to do that for thousands of people.
And this comes a lot from the last 12 or 18 months of us talking to people. Predominantly people who have been earning very, very good six-figure salaries in their late 40s, early 50s, even going into their 60s. And we've spoken to many of these people who have had I'm going to say they've enjoyed their life, but as they've got older, they're starting to understand that they need to start planning for their future, for the time that they need to stop working. And they have no concept of emergency funds, cash-based reserves, ISAs, pensions, proper life insurance, anything like that. They've lived in the politest form, hand to mouth, month to month. And these are people that are probably earning a good net 5-figure sum per month and have nothing to show for it. That's not acceptable, but that's down to incorrect understanding. So hence why we've decided 2023 is going to be the year of education. And it's not just the person that has no money, because it does seem that the people that have little money are very, very good usually at budgeting because they have to. It's those that it's easy come, easy go. Yeah. And there needs to be a new alignment of understanding to make sure that the happiness continues.
Yeah. So
look out for 2023 in education.
Happy New Year.